Testing 1 2 3. 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 Now I have to pause that or I'm going to keep hearing myself echo back and forth through the whole thing.
Hey Ken, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. My sound settings got messed up. I'm not sure why, but I'm glad you told me. I would have recorded that whole video with no sound. I can cut off the beginning once I finish. But yeah, but you missed everything I was doing. I was loading my plan. I was talking about our route and everything.
Okay.
I don't feel like doing it again. Yeah, but here we go.
I understand.
Yeah, but we're doing about a 300-mile flight from Texas to New Mexico. You can see, and if you look at the description of the video, you can actually see the route we're taking. Oops, I forgot to start my flight with my passengers. Welcome aboard, passengers.
Okay.
I have 3 passengers.
Don't forget your passport if you're going to New Mexico.
Yeah, I'm flying a Cessna 177 RG, which I said earlier, but there was no sound. That's from the back seat, and there's from the side, the back, the other side. I better get in the cockpit before I get. Now I just confused myself.
Did you hear me when I first called you on Zillow, or
no? All my
commented.
No, all my sound was messed up. It wasn't until I saw you tried to say something because I was setting up my flight plan, and I wasted all that talking. And I have to head to runway 9. There we go. I confused myself where I was when I was like doing all that outside the plane stuff. We're going to be taking off from runway 9. I have my cowl flaps open so the engine doesn't get too hot. And Cessna 177 RG, the RG stands for retractable gears, so I have to remember to take up and down the landing gear at the appropriate times. Recommended takeoff is with 10 degrees of flaps, so we're setting that. We have 3 passengers on board. And a lot of fuel. Here we go. And this is a complex airplane. It also has a controllable propeller. A variable pitch propeller, I should say. .55, rotate. Positive rate. Gear up.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, you can stall a variable pitch propeller, can't you? If I'm not mistaken, you can stall a variable pitch propeller.
Oops, I drifted to the right. I'm sure you can. What do you mean by stall a variable pitch propeller? By making it too fast, making it where it's feathered.
Your forward lift, your thrust.
Yeah, that's where you feather it. You wouldn't do that unless you were, like the engine went out. That's one of the benefits of a variable pitch propeller is if the engine goes out, you can feather it to where there's no thrust. And there's also no drag. Okay, gonna start making my right turn. We're gonna have a crosswind departure, which I would announce, but this technically is in real life a controlled airport.
Like a left turn.
Did I say right? I meant to say left if I said right.
I thought you did.
I might have. I should have put my flaps up sooner. I should have done that shortly after I put in the gear.
You got your gear up?
Yeah, I got the gear up. Oh, that you can tell right away if your gear isn't up. Let's bring up the autopilot. I'm not used to this plane yet. This is a different autopilot than what's in the other plane I fly. Oh, didn't mean to activate it. Make sure GPS is activated there. Oops, turning a little bit. Oops. Let's see. Speed 300. Yaw dampener. Autopilot. There we go. Let's just set it for 500 for now. Let's set the altimeter. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Let's go to, we're doing a far flight, so why don't we plan on initially climbing to 5,000, or let's see, we're heading west. So let's do 45. We're took off from a higher part. Let's initially climb to 6,500, and then we'll see how we're doing there.
Did you watch that video I sent of the guy that flew with the not Blue Angels, the Thunderbirds?
Oh darn! The guy who ejected himself? Or the other one that was a half hour. I watched the one that I think the Thunderbirds was, he was the guy who flew, no, the Thunderbirds guy was the guy who flew with somebody else before, right? And it was his second experience. In the beginning he talked about, how he did this before, this wasn't going to be anything different, right? Yeah, I saw that. I didn't look. I still have to go back and
travel past the sound barrier. He got to break the sound barrier this time.
Yeah. I still need to look at the one you told me where the guy ejected himself, though. I didn't go back to that one.
Yeah, that wasn't a video. That was just a little article about it.
Oh, okay. I haven't looked at that yet. It's on the back of my mind. I'm adjusting my mixture a little bit. Watching my EGTs. I bet that guy
still regrets tapping out and not going through with it all.
Yeah. See how we're barely hovering above 80 miles per hour? That's...
I also found it. Yeah, I see it.
That's why I like to do my altitude climbs in steps. And in a real airplane, when you're with air traffic control, they're going to make you do it in steps anyways. They'll clear you to one altitude, then the next, you know. And the nice thing about doing in steps is once I get to 6,500, I can accelerate some, and then I can climb to my next step. Like I can climb to 8,500 or 10,500. Trying to watch all my gauges.
Makes sense.
This is my wing view.
Do you have to adjust your mixture as you climb in this?
I adjusted it some. You can see right there on the right, it's pulled out a little bit, and so is my prop pulled out a little bit at this point. I still have full throttle. Actually, I should actually look at where my propeller is. Yeah, I'm in the green with my propeller and my fuel flow and my RPM, so I'm good there. My oil temperature's in the green, all my other indicators are in the green. Everything looks good. We're on track. Uh-oh. I missed something in my pre-flight. My run-up. That's what I get from doing it in my head.
What do you miss?
Setting my transponder to alt. It was on standby. I got mixed up because I couldn't find when I was setting my instruments and my GPS and everything. I couldn't, for some reason my file wasn't there where I had everything in there for the flight, my flight plan. Yeah, we're currently climbing. Turn off. My taxiing and landing lights.
So they're talking we may have our third named storm of the year this weekend before hurricane season even begins.
That's pretty cool. Seeing the Cessna 177, the gear like tucks up into the body like that.
Yeah, that is cool.
I like this plane because it gives you faster speeds and all that. Those are the cowl flaps I have to close once we get to cruise flight. I need to get this plane into the Pilot Edge air traffic control area on the west coast. Actually, New Mexico might get me there. Oh, it looks like we're leveling off at 6,500. Yep, we are. Oh, I would love to own a plane like this.
How much does one of these go for?
Oh, I have no idea. Maybe there's an app with the whatchamacallit, plane buyers app or something like that. Have you?
It's a what Cessna was it?
177 RG. Yep. With my temperatures in the middle there, I think I'm actually going to leave my cowl flaps open. I guess I could always try closing them. Let's cruise here for a little bit at 6,500 and see what happens if I close them.
Looks like they go for in the neighborhood of 100,000, give or take.
Wow. That's a little bit out of my budget, right? Maybe you, Matt, and I could pitch in on it, right?
Why do you have loans? That's why there are banks.
Yeah. Said no bank would give me that loan for a plane. Maybe they give me a 30-year loan on a house for that much, but not a plane. I really like this plane because it handles similar to the Cessna 172.
What's its max seating? How many people?
4. Yeah, this is a plane I actually bought in FS Economy. I actually own this plane in the FS Economy. So this doesn't cost me anything to rent, as I'm flying these 3 people. This is a $3,000 assignment.
That's cool.
I'm actually also leasing a Cessna 172. Do you have Skype installed in your phone?
No, I don't have Skype. I was about to say, one thing I was surprised about in that video where he broke the sound barrier is how anticlimactic breaking the sound barrier is actually inside the plane.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... I could never imagine actually getting to fly in a fighter jet. That would be the coolest thing ever. You know?
And he said the plane's maneuverability is limited by the physical tolerances of the pilot.
Yep, I saw that part. Oops, what did I just do? Nav, Alt. I just bumped something. It's going to want to go back down to 6,500. I should probably let it. I'll just... I bumped... when I went up to close the autopilot window on the top, I bumped my trim. And the trim wheel on my attachment here, my trim wheel, doesn't move like a real trim wheel. So my trim wheel, when I'm not using it, doesn't keep up with the changes on the trim wheel that the autopilot uses. So when I bump my trim wheel, it thinks I want to go to that trim that I had way back when I was taking off.
I see. That makes sense.
Yep. You'll know.
I was distracting you at all.
Talking, oh, you weren't. You weren't at all.
At least you got it corrected.
You'll notice when I go to land and I want to start using my trim wheel to take the pressure off the yoke while I'm landing, you'll notice that when I start using it, it's going to throw me way up or way down based on wherever the autopilot left it last. And that's to compensate really quick. Uh-oh, my cylinder head temperature and my oil temperatures are getting up. I'm going to open my cowl flaps again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought I should have left the cowl flaps open. Now they're open. You see my gauges down on the lower right? I mean on the lower. Right there you have my oil. I have my oil temp that was creeping up to 245 and my cylinder head temp was creeping up. Yep. So I opened up my cowl flaps.
Did you remember to turn off the starter, or are you draining your batteries in this too?
This no, this is a key, just like the Cessna. Right there. You have on both and start, and you do your mag tests and all that by turning it to the left at 1800 RPM. For this plane, it's 1800. In the 172, it's 1700, if I'm not mistaken. 1750 or 1700? Anyways, it's one or the other. But it's 1800 in this plane for the RPMs check.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly which one it was.
So, does it transfer all my data? Let me see. Oh, never mind. Don't worry about it. I'll just check.
Did you decide on what case you're going to get for it?
Yeah, I did.
Are you going with the heavy duty one like I have, or did you get something a little bit lighter?
I got something lighter. I have the case I like with the brand I like, and I just wasn't willing to change. I'm sort of stuck in my ways.
Understandable. I've had this brand. It's probably a similar thing with me.
Yeah, as I'm just thinking, if I went with a heavier case, I'd end up with a bigger, heavier phone, heavier around my phone. You know, where I don't need military grade.
Yeah, it does add a bit of mass to it. It's a little bit blockier.
Mm-hmm.
Just with what I do, working outside and stuff, I like the security of knowing it's in a nice, secure case.
Right.
Amy one time threw my phone down the driveway, and phone survived, not a problem.
That's really cool.
Oh, did I tell you that wireless charger charges the phone from about 20-30% to full charge in about 2 hours?
Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, I have that charger on the way, by the way, and the plug you recommended.
I charged it from the wired charger. The quick charge with the wire, I was able to charge my phone from 20% battery to 90% battery in an hour.
That's really cool. Is that, and you mean with the wire or on the wireless?
That was I didn't send you the link for that. That was with a separate wired, a wired plug and wire.
Okay.
For it. I'll send you the link for it.
Well, how long does it take on the wireless one?
If you need a real quick charge, you can use the wire charger, but if it's just like overnight. The wireless is about 2 hours.
Yeah, that's fine for me. That's all I need. Now, if they had a car charger that was at that level, that would be cool.
They actually do. I was looking at that.
Yeah.
I didn't get it yet, but I was thinking down the line possibly.
Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah, I was thinking too. I also have a battery pack that I carry with me when I go on trips, like when I'm camping and stuff that I can recharge my phone with.
Yeah, I've got one of those too.
You know what?
I haven't needed it. I needed it with my old SE, but I haven't needed it yet with this.
I'm gonna use flight acceleration because I don't want to sit here for 3 hours. I just realized that. Our next route point is 6 minutes away.
Go.
Like I said, my main purpose.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I understand.
my main purpose here is to get the flight to where I'm in Pilot Edge ATC territory, where I can use ATC. We're almost to DEWEY. I'm actually going to have to climb up to 8,500 feet to get over the...
My old SE? Oh.
Because I have to get over the Midland International Air and Space. It's MAF. Maybe it's some kind of museum or something. It looks really cool, though. In the chart. I'm thinking Midland International Air and Space. Sounds like some kind of space museum, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up someday. Maybe I should fly there. Let's go to 8,500. We'll go up by 500 feet a minute. Don't need to rush. Because we're not even at DEWEY yet. Make sure I don't bump my trim button and my trim wheel. Trading some airspeed for altitude.
Yeah, I like the new SE because the battery can get me through the whole day at work, and I don't need to keep it on the power saving mode either.
That's good. Yeah, my other SE's battery wasn't all that bad. But like I said, my issue was with the memory of things. You know, it didn't keep good memory. Like right now, I have my phone updating all the charts for the United States.
Yeah, you're gonna like having the 256 gigabytes. I know I do.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to do your transfer of all your information from one phone to the next?
Not long. Yeah, on my Apple Watch, I have it set up pretty cool. I have UTC time. I have the temperature with the high and low in the upper right-hand corner. The date in the center circle. The picture of what the current weather is, partly cloudy, in the right-hand circle. A UTC dial in the bottom circle. The wind is west-southwest at 3 miles per hour in the left circle. In the bottom right circle is my fasting program, which tells me how long I have left to fast for till tomorrow I can eat. And then in the lower left-hand circle, I have a timer program, but I should probably set it to a stopwatch to make it more useful for a pilot. Like if you have 1 minute legs going around a holding pattern or something. But I'll worry about that later.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be a good function.
Right now I have it set for timer, because I use the timer for like when I brew tea.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Here's the view from the back. Looks like we're getting to 8,500.
You need to get to the back seat from the front seat in real life in the Cessna.
I know. Look at the legroom. That's really nice. I'm willing to bet these seats are modeled to be all the way forward, though. Because if you look at that, if you look at how the seats are like that, I don't think I'd be able to. I think my knees would be in the dashboard like that. You see how the front seats are?
Yeah, I agree.
And you see the rails that come all the way back to here? I'm willing to bet that you'd slide them back more for a real flight. You wouldn't have that much legroom in a real plane. Real small plane, at least.
No way.
Ooh, the handle for the door. I could reach that. The luggage door.
See if you can open it. See what happens.
I don't think I'd want to. Uh-oh. Oh, I bumped the trim wheel again. That's what happened. I just realized my arm was resting on the trim wheel. Like I said, that's something that wouldn't happen in a real plane.
Oops.
Now we're heading to our next waypoint. 6,900 feet to surface is the airspace. Oh, I wish there was a way to show my iPad in here. And so right now we're just entering their airspace. But we're at 8,500 feet, so we're safe. And once we get over that airport, we'll be able to make our next turn a little bit to the left. I wonder if we'll be able to see that airport from around here. There's some buildings over here. I think that's the airport over there, maybe? Because it would be a little bit off to my right.
It's hard to tell.
No, that's not an airport. That looks like a road. We're probably too far away from it. Still, to see it. Nice clear today, though. I'm using real weather. Oh, wait, maybe I'm not. I forgot. The other day it was raining. I changed it. That would explain why my winds weren't matching earlier.
You didn't want to fly in the rain?
Well, not when you're at unfamiliar airports. You're not really doing the real flight planning and everything. I was just having fun the other night, racking up dollars in FSE.
I see.
Now we have real world weather, but I really don't want real world time because I don't want to fly at night. You know what I'm saying? So it's 10 o'clock. There it would be 7 though. Maybe we should see how bright or dark it is.
Yeah, makes sense.
But we could always look though, right?
Try it out. Change it back, right?
Oh yeah, I could always change it back. Oh, it's sunset. That might make the airport easier to spot when I turn. It should be right underneath me soon. Although I am pretty high. There's a road down there with the cars on it. I don't... Oh, there's... Is that the... No. Ah, there it is back there, maybe? No, it should be off my left wing.
That could be.
No, it should be off my left wing somewhere. Now it looks too hazy to see the airport. Oh, you know what? It is off. It was off my right wing. That was it. I was looking at the... Yeah, that's the airport there. I'm flying over the VOR. I forgot. You see what I'm saying, what I did? Did I touch my... oops, I don't have my lights on.
Yeah. Oh, you hit your trim wheel, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. There we go. Now we can see. Yeah, I was flying over the VOR. Yeah, I didn't think about the fact that the VOR wouldn't be right. Wouldn't be... I don't know what I was thinking. But anyways. It wasn't until I zoomed in on the map and saw that the VOR symbol that I wasn't over the airport. I thought I was flying over the airport. Because I had the map way zoomed out earlier so I could see the whole route. And when you're way zoomed out, it looked like you're flying. It looked like I was flying over the airport, but when I zoomed in, I saw I was flying over the VOR. Yeah. The thing is when I go and I log onto the Pilot Edge ATC network, I'm going to have to actually take this really seriously because they do too. No easy flying for me. Unless I don't log on. But it's also a good experience to have real rule.
Keep the chatter to the minimum when you do that.
Oh yeah. I'm sure you'll be able to tell that when I need... You'll know when I need to have the chatter down. Because you'll hear me say that I'm like, you know, so many miles from the airport, I'm going to make my initial call. And once I make a call to ATC, then I have to listen for my call sign.
Yeah.
So you like dark flying, or you want me to put it back to a little earlier?
This is interesting. You do know why the cab lights are red inside the plane, right?
Oh yeah. Same reason why when I was in law enforcement, my flashlight had a red setting.
Oh yeah, I forgot you were in law enforcement. So the first shuttle is going up, or not the shuttle, the first manned space flight from the U.S. is going up tomorrow.
Yeah, that's one of those private ones, right? That I was reading about? Okay, I didn't really read about it. I glanced over it.
Elon Musk's Dragon capsule taking 2 U.S. crew members to the station.
That's interesting. We have an airport off to our left if we need it.
I debated on going up to Kennedy to watch the launch, but it's just going to be too crowded and don't want to deal with all that.
Oh, I agree.
I saw some videos of the people departing after the scrub launch, and it just is
And if they
too close together, no social distancing.
And if they didn't do the launch, it'd be a big trip for exposing yourself for nothing, you know?
Yeah, and you remember how many times that happened when we drove up for shuttle launch when we were growing up?
Yep, I do.
I'll never forget that night launch when we took the van up there. That was an amazing experience.
Yeah.
You got smoke coming off your left wing.
I think those are vapor trails from the, oh, what are those things called at the end of the wing that guide the, eddies? Called. There's a word for those.
I forget what they're called, but
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. See how there's like that curve right there? There's a word for that. I just don't have it on the top of my head. The curve right there too. Some planes have it, some planes don't. Like we have, like our, like one of our 172s have it, the other one doesn't. There's a word for it though, but it's on the tip of my tongue. It just won't come out of my mouth. Now that there is interesting. I wonder, I didn't see that in the daytime. I'll have to look in the daytime and see if that's there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that would be that far back.
I would guess it's some kind of antenna thing. Because I know these are steps to get up into the plane. Because you have these two antennas in the front, maybe one down low in the back. Because these two would be blocking the wing a little bit, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
There's another airport off my right, too, if I needed it.
If when you get close to the airport, if you want to change it to daytime for the landing, feel free to.
I can do a nighttime landing. It's good practice. I actually don't really need that red light so bright. I actually don't need the instrument light so bright either. Don't know why I turned them up all the way.
I see your temps are down. Do you have the cowling still open?
Yep, I do. The way I look at it is right now they're in good situation, good position, so I'm just going to leave the cowling open. I'm surprised my temperature gauge up here on the right doesn't have a light. Because the compass does, but that doesn't, unless I'm missing it. Yeah, my temperature gauge, see how the compass has a light? They didn't put a light in the temperature gauge, you see that?
Yeah, that's weird.
I might email them and let them know. Those instrument lights still look a little bit too bright, don't they?
I don't think they're too bright, but whatever's comfortable for you.
Okay, our next VOR's coming up. Actually, it's a VOR. We'll be flying over that in a little bit. The nice thing about GPS is I don't have to worry about putting in all the different VOR frequencies. But you know what? I think I'm going to do that in my next flights. When I plan the flight, I'm going to write down all the VOR frequencies I need to use and actually do it that way. And not use the GPS. Sound like a plan?
That would be cool.
Yeah, I'm getting lazy. I need to make it harder. And it wouldn't be a bad backup plan to have. To have all that VOR stuff in there too. Because my handheld radio I carry in my bag has VOR capability. So even if I had a plane with GPS, if I had all the VOR frequencies on me, actually I have my route in my ForeFlight, so I could actually pull up all the frequencies if I wanted to. But I could actually put my handheld radio, my emergency radio, has a VOR capability. So I could actually track VORs. It's technically not legal to use it, just like an iPad for like IFR flight. But in an emergency, if you find your way somewhere, you could use it. Like it's for emergency use. Technically, in an emergency, all the regulations go out the window.
Yeah, I understand.
Oh wait, my time acceleration turned off when I was changing my views. We were going to sit here for a long time, weren't we?
Yeah, how fast are you accelerating? Double time, triple time?
Right, it's at 2.7 time right now. 2.8. You can see it on the screen when I have it enacted. I didn't realize it turned off when I changed views.
Yeah, it's real small print. I had to actually get up to read it.
Yeah, 2.9 right now. You want to know a secret?
So do you use the same controls for the trucking game as you do for the flight simulator?
No. On the trucking game, I use a steering wheel and a gear shift, and my clutch, brake, and accelerator. I have flight controls for my computer. I have a throttle quadrant. I have a trim wheel. I have a radio quadrant. I have a switch quadrant, and I have pedals with brakes, left and right pedals with brakes, rudder pedals. So I have to switch everything out if I want to do the truck simulator.
Sounds like a fun project when you switch them out. No wonder you haven't gone back to the trucking for a little bit.
Yeah, which do you enjoy more?
I'm both interesting.
Yeah, I wish I didn't. I wish I would have realized that I was flying at 1 time speed. Because it will get more This will get more interesting once I get into ATC territory. Because I need the ATC practice. And I like flying a complex plane. Oh, did I ever tell you what the secret was? Did you hear me ask you? Do you want to know a secret?
Oh, yeah, what? No, you didn't tell me what the secret is. What is it?
Guess what I did the first 2 times I landed this plane?
What did you do?
Just take a guess.
No gear?
How'd you guess? The first 2 times, at the first 2 airports I landed this plane, I didn't lower the landing gear. And and I have a switch indicator that will show me 3 greens.
Wow. Maybe you should stick to the trucking game.
Yeah. It will actually, if one of my landing gears fails, it will show me 2 greens and 1 red or all red or whatever when I put the landing gear down on this switch controller.
So you figured it was okay to go since you didn't see any red?
No, I just forgot about the landing gear. I didn't even think about it because it's dark when there is see, even here. If you look at where you see how there's no lights for the landing gear indicator. I can't even find where the knob is at night. Where are the 3 lights? Oh, is that it there? I think this might be the green. No. Where's the landing gear switch? That's the flaps. Panel, cabin air. Anyways, wherever the landing gear switch is.
Hey, Ken, aren't there supposed to be 4 lights?
Of course. Oops, I bumped my wheel. It makes it really exaggerated when we're on 3 times speed too. During the daytime, I'm gonna have to see where my 3. Oh, I know. When we land, we'll see where the 3 green lights are. Alright, we have 27 miles till our 10 minutes, 10 short minutes, or actually it would be like 3 or 4 minutes until our next waypoint, and then we're on our final few legs to the airport. Which means I need to start doing some looking up, since I don't do all my... Since for this flight, I was just more doing it for fun, I didn't do all my research. Let's see, we're going to KALM.
Oh, So you need to actually like look at the airport diagram.
Yeah, how'd you guess? And CTAF is 122.8. We don't have an ATIS, but we have an AWAS of 127.825. 127.825. Let me program that in there. Switch that over. Eventually, we'll get that in our radio. We have 0422 1738. Let's look at the diagram. Okay, we have the 1728 is a dirt runway. We won't use that in this plane. I'm going to opt for, unless the winds really, really favor the dirt runway, I'm going to opt for the 22.4 runway. But we'll see when we get within radio range. 127.85, the F that's set. We'll see when we get in radio range with the runway they say is in use. Hopefully it's not the dirt runway. That one's a... I mean, let me look. How short is it? $3,200 feet. Yeah, I could do that in this plane. But I actually would prefer to do the longer runway. Just because I prefer longer paid runways. And if I actually own this plane, I would actually prefer that as well. When we're heading towards the airport, we would be a direct in for the 04 from the VOR. If 04 is preferred, I might see if there's a GPS procedure that would take us down.
Hey Ken, hold on a few minutes. I had to help Amy with something. I'm actually out of the room.
Alright, I'm going to go to the restroom then, okay? I'll be back in a minute. Thank goodness for autopilot. Alright, I'm back. And my plane's still flying, that's good. If it wasn't, I hope somebody would have called me on my cell phone if you know the number. We're heading towards our next 2 points. The second point is really close to the first. Once we We're going to head to HEVTU, and at Honer we're going to make a right turn towards the airport, which will line us up for the 04 runway. If the 04 runway isn't preferred for winds, we'll choose the 22. And we'll just do a left upwind since they have right traffic on the 04. I think they have the right traffic because there's a 10,000 foot mountain off to the right of the runway. We wouldn't want to run into that. Speaking of mountains, I should better check. Looks like we're going to be flying over sectors that have maximum heights of 7,900. And I should probably pull up the IFR background layer, because I like to see IFR low. 12.1 is what's recommended in this area for radio reception and all that, so we are going to go to 12.5. Ouch. Hehehe. 12,500. We'll do that at a vertical speed of 500 again. Arm the autopilot to engage that. There we go. That's one thing I like about the IFR low charts, is they really give you a lot of information as far as altitudes go on different airways. It'd be really nice if I could figure out how to share my iPad view while I'm on the simulator. Okay, our speed is slowing down a little bit more than I thought it would. Maybe we'll... It looks like it's actually abating a little bit. We're still going to stay over 80, so that's okay for me. Definitely want to stay above 80. I do not like flying through the mountains at night. It makes it really hard to see things. Hopefully our radio, our airport will come into tune soon as far as giving us our guidance as far as what runway we'll have and whatnot in our altimeter setting. And there goes some cars down there.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Yep, I was just telling whoever isn't watching or is watching that we're climbing up to 12,500. I pulled up the IFR low chart to see what the altitude recommendation is for this airway. And I wanted to get above all obstacles and terrain. So we're currently climbing that way. And if you notice off to the right of the window there, you can see the mountain. There's a 10,000 some foot mountain off here to the right of the airport.
Yeah, I see it.
Then we have to pass it, And there's other mountains over
Alamogordo
here.
White Sands
Oh, here we
Regional
come.
Information Yankee.
Here we are.
100 Zulu weather.
3013.
Wind 150 at 9. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 29. Dew point 4. Altimeter 3013.
3013.
Arriving runway 22. Departing runway 22. Advise on initial
We're
contact.
going to use runway 22. So that means we're going to, it's a right traffic runway. So we're going to enter the left upwind, pass the runway on our right, and then circle around. Actually, we're going to enter to the left, the right downwind, I should
White
say.
Sands
No.
Regional Information Yankee. 100
Let me
Zulu
think.
weather. Wind 150 at 9. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 29. Dew point 4.
Yeah, it's going to be right,
Altimeter
because the
3013.
mountain's on the... No,
Arriving
yeah,
runway 22.
the mountain's on the right.
Departing runway 22. Advise on initial contact. You have Yankee.
So we have Yankee. Going to head for runway 22. Winds are 150 at 9.
Alamogordo White Sands Regional Information Yankee.
So we sort of have a
100 Zulu
crosswind
weather.
there.
Wind 150 at 9. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear.
Doesn't sound too bad.
No, not too bad at all.
Pattern altitude is 5,200. And airport's altitude is 4,200. So we have a pretty good descent once you get over this ridge here.
You know, for airport altitudes, I got spoiled because the airports are at like 0 here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I flew in the mountains the other night. I didn't do it online.
So I never had to like calculate a...
And flying in the mountains gives you some weird illusions, I'll tell you, especially at night.
You were saying you flew in the mountains?
In X-plane.
Yeah, that's what I figured. What type of illusions?
Because the mountain ridges are at different heights when you're... I was in a Cessna 172 and it doesn't climb that fast, so I was flying the canyons while the plane was flying. It just gave you some weird illusions as you were flying. It's like, okay, hope I'm not going to hit anything. But I was very clear, though I made it very easily through the whole thing. But I was like flying up in the canyons. If I wanted to be really safe, I would have circled in the plateau area and then flew over the mountains. So there was an option that I could have been safer. There's a little city up on this ledge up here.
You're in a simulator. It's the time to take risks in the simulator.
Yeah.
Do you know what city that's supposed to be?
If I put my glasses on and zoomed in, maybe. There's a timber and private airport there, but I'm on the IFR chart. I think I have to switch charts. Let's try the sectional, see if it tells me what city's there. It says something about street pattern. I would say the city's probably named Timberin. I'm actually finishing crossing the ridge right about now. You can see down here that there's our airport. We need to wait. There's 2 airports. That's not good.
Yeah, I can see that, the city up top of the ridge.
My airport has 2 runways. So it would be the second one, not that first one on the right. I would really like to confirm that though before I turn. Hate to. Well, actually, I'm on the my settings are gonna set me right on that route. So for the 04 runway where I'm gonna end up making right traffic to the 22. So I'll be able to do that. Let's pull up the autopilot. Set it for what did I say the airport altitude was again?
Was it 5,500?
5,200 is the pattern altitude. So let's set it for 5,500. We're going to have to dive down there pretty good. Let's say dive down at... let's reduce some speed here. Got to make sure we're below maneuvering speed. Now we're turning towards 04. No, this is our first turn. And then we're going to head towards the 04 runway. But we're going to head towards the left of it so we can make right traffic into 22. Actually, this looks like I'm getting pretty low. I don't like that. I might have misread my altitudes. Anyway, so we'll do this by hand the old-fashioned way. Oh, I'm in 3 times mode. Whoa, I'm in 3 times speed mode. That doesn't help. Be like flying a jet with... No, that's not fun. There we go. Fix that. Did I put in the right altimeter?
Alamogordo White Sands Regional Information
30013.
100 Zulu weather.
Sorry, I had to step away a second again.
30. Oh, 30.
Alamogordo White Sands Regional
3013. Yeah, that. Pretty sure I said 5,500 and 4,500 for the airport. Where's my glasses? I do not like reading charts while I'm flying.
And it could just be because it's night, it's giving you the perception that you're lower than what you really are.
I'll find out when I land. It could have been higher back there where I was over that Honer intersection.
Yeah, that's for sure.
'Cause, you know.
Yeah, that's a possibility too.
Because right now I'm at the 5,500 level and I look fine. Back there I seemed low. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So I think the elevations there were a little bit... Although it only says 4,500 at the one spot on the chart. I think it might have just been an optical illusion, like you said, maybe, because of the nighttime. Alright, now I'm going to adjust my trim, so it's going to nose up quite a bit as I roll it down. Figured I better do that before I start getting into the landing configuration. Really wish X-Plane would figure out, like, to reset the trim wheel. Because it's just a wheel. 'Cause I'm, like, spinning it a lot to get it back to down. Like, it wouldn't take this much spinning to fix it from real life.
No, definitely not.
It would help if I spinned it the right way. There we go.
Just don't forget your gear.
Hey. I'm going to use those lights there in the distance as target lights to keep myself in this pattern of this airport I don't know. That's the airport off my right there. I'm about mid-field, so we'll do one notch of flaps and slow down a little bit. We'll slow down a little bit first. Full rich, prop forward. Now that gear down, since we have our speed down, so we're satisfy the GUMPS requirement. Our propellers full forward, mixtures full rich.
Don't see the gear lights.
Huh, you don't? See the green light down there? Now you saw it. I see the three lights to my right.
Okay, now I see it.
Okay, I think we're probably about 45. Let's do another notch of flaps.
One thing one of my instructors told me is you never want to add flaps while you're in a turn.
I always do. My instructors never complain about it. Oops. I slowed down a little bit more than I needed to. Wasn't watching my speed because I was looking out the rear right window. Turned a little bit too soon. That's one of the hard things about flying in a flight simulator, is you can't really see, you don't have that peripheral vision that you can't just glance your head.
Sounds like to me you have an excuse to buy 2 more monitors.
I do. Alright, I just don't have room for them. Now I think we can start turning right. Gently. That's the highway. Don't want to line up with that. Still a little bit too early. Now we'll just do a slow turn. I could have went out a little bit more. Well, actually, I made my turn too early the first time, so that doesn't help. Still too early. Oh, I got fired. Oh no. Flaps up. Yeah, if you look on the left, 430 feet per minute is when I hit the ground. I didn't quite judge that right well. Oh, you know what? It didn't help that my landing lights weren't on. That helps. I would have been able to see the runway a lot better. Oops. Let's go drop my passengers off.
Hey, but you had your gear down.
That helps. There was a turnoff here. There we go. Saw the yellow line. We'll go to Exile X Aviation. Which is the final building on the right. Looks like they have lots of parking there.
Is it me or are you traveling real slow?
I'm going really slow. I was looking at the chart to see where I wanted to drop off my passengers.
Ah, okay, I see.
We'll take the next taxiway. Excel Aviation is off to our right here. That's where our passengers need to go. Now there's the double doors right there. Sounds like a good place to let them off. Okay, landing lights. All my switches are off. Let's finish our flight. Flight results can be seen online. 2 hours and 38 minutes, 36 gallons of fuel on board. Those were the 3 passengers we let off. Alright, Phil. I'm going to call it a night. It's almost 11 o'clock. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
I should probably
I'll chat with you tomorrow.
I should probably take a picture of my plane at some point, right? There we go. A nighttime picture. Maybe like right there. How's that look?
That's
Nope.
a nice picture with the taxiway behind you.
Yep. That way I have the whatchamacallit.
Can you turn the landing lights on real quick?
I could.
Just turn on all the beacon and landing lights.
Yep, I'll do that. Should I put those cones out?
Yeah, that. I thought it looked good.
Yeah, that puts the little blocks underneath the wheels too. There, I think pretty sure I took the picture there. Alright. Now let me turn the switches
Yeah, I
off.
think that's nice.
Turn the battery off so I don't run out of my battery. If there was more light on this side, it'd be cool to have the building in the background, but I'll have to do that during the daytime. But alright, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, have a good night. Talk to you tomorrow.
You too.